Hi again.
Hello.
What are you doing here? You can just get out of here.
Dip. No, I mean, you're alone. I can be here. I have
got
nothing.
Bill.
It takes me nothing to be here. I just listen and go, yeah, exactly.
Well, let's start letting people in. We got 17 in the waiting room.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we had like 34 register.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Catch you on the other side.
Okay.
Thank you, Allison.
How are we doing?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are you, Scott?
Just letting a few more people trickle in here, and then we'll get going.
That's terrific. Hi, Allison. How are you?
All right, we're gonna get going here because I know it's that time of year where it's dark outside and everything feels a lot later than it is, and I don't want to keep people past 45 minutes or so. So we've got a decent sized group here today, so we'll get going. Hi everybody, my name is Scott Carter. I'm the executive vice president with Saber, and we are thrilled that you have joined us today. Not only have you joined us today, but you're all here because you're new Saber members. So wave to everybody. These are all your fellow class of late October, early November 2021 Saber members. So you all have something in common. But what we want to do today is use this time to go over some of the key benefits for your Saber membership, take a tour of the website, kind of show you some of the cooler parts that you might not have stumbled upon already. But basically just kind of point out some of the benefits that make your Saber membership worthwhile, and also let you meet some fellow new Saber members. I think the most important part of Saber is it's a community of baseball fans that are passionate about the game. There's really a place for all types of baseball fans under the sun. So we're here to help you find the people and the things that make you tick as a baseball fan. So some of us are super into the analytics side of things, some of us are super into the historical side of things, and there's everybody in between. So we want to make sure that you find your people and have the best experience possible. So what I'd like to do first, which we do every month, and this isn't terribly painful because we're all baseball fans, so hopefully this is an easy question, but I'd like to just bounce around the Zoom and just have everybody introduce themselves. What we'll do is just simply tell me your name, where you're from, and your favorite team, and that'll be it. So what I'll do is I'm going to go around and I will call on you, so just wait until you get called on to unmute yourself, and then we'll go from there. I wanted to start with two special guests on our call today, and that's we have two Saber board of directors members with us today. So if I don't mention it enough, we are here to help you. So our Saber staff is always here to help you, but also the board of directors is here to help. So if there's a question that I can't answer, feel free to reach out to anybody on our board. So I just wanted to quickly introduce Allison. Allison, wave your hand. There's Allison Levin, and then Bill Nallen, our two board members who have joined us today. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew Bill and Allison are also available anytime you need anything that I cannot answer for you, or our Saber staff can answer for you. So we'll get going. I'll quickly introduce myself and then we can get going. Scott Carter. I am originally from Downey, California, which is in southeastern Los Angeles County. I grew up and remain to this day a massive Los Angeles Dodgers fan. Dodgers typically fare pretty well in these meetings, so don't let me down. There's got to be a couple of us, so we'll see how it goes. Let's go to Bill first. Bill, you want to quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Allison.
Sure, I'm Bill Cranmer. I live in Frederick, Maryland. And the team that I grew up with was the New York Mets. I am still a Mets fan, but since I live in Maryland for the last 35 years, I've grown to adopt the local Maryland teams also. So much to my family's chagrin, I split my allegiances.
Very cool, Bill. Well, welcome. I should have specified I was tossing to Bill Nellen. That's my fault. I'm a little rusty, but thanks, Bill Kramer. Welcome.
Yeah,
Well,
welcome.
I can go again when it's my turn if you want.
Well, we are a very serious bunch in Saber. I've been on the board for a number of years now, and I picked up these sunglasses at Fenway Park. They were a giveaway item. They're Kike Hernandez sunglasses. I'm from Boston. I'm a Red Sox fan. Geography counts, and we are really here and able and hoping to be able to help if you ever have any questions after this meeting in the days and months to come.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. Allison, why don't you go ahead?
I did not get the memo that as board members, we were bringing props. So I don't have any props with me. I'm Allison. I've been on the board for several years now. As Bill said, we're here to help whenever you need help, ask questions of. I am born and raised in St. Louis, which by birth makes me a St. Louis Cardinals fan. To help Scott with his counting, when I went away to college, I also became a Dodgers fan, and I consider Dodgers to be my second team. And just fair warning, I am a huge Kershaw stan. I will root for Kershaw no matter where he plays. So if we did like a Kershaw thing, that overwhelms all of my other fandoms.
That's why I love having you on these calls, Allison, because I know I'm always just going to have at least a little bit of backup. So appreciate it. So I'm just going to go around from, you may not be in the same order that you see, but I'll just keep it in ear out for your name, and I'll call on you. So let's go to Madeline.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Madeline Crema, and I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and I'm a Cubs fan.
Welcome, Madeline. Happy to have you.
Thanks.
Let's go to Jim Melvin. Welcome, sir. Oh, you're muted. Yep.
Okay now?
There you go.
Okay. My name is Jim Melvin. I live in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I grew up in Philadelphia, and as a child, I started to follow the Philadelphia A's. Now, when the Philadelphia A's moved to Kansas City, I was the biggest Kansas City A's fan east of the Mississippi River. It's very difficult to keep track of them before ESPN and the internet, but finally, when they moved to Oakland, I kind of let that go. Then later I moved to New England, which is where I live now in Rhode Island. And for about the past 40 years, I've been a huge Red Sox fan.
Hope to see you at the Rhode Island chapter meeting the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yes, I'm going.
Good.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Thanks, Jim. Let's go to Rick Gonzalez.
My name is Rick Gonzalez. I grew up on the West Coast, so I was raised a San Francisco Giants fan, which I still am. However, now I'm in Providence, Rhode Island, and so I am also a Red Sox fan.
Very cool. I don't know how you guys were raised, but I was told that I could get a team in each league. So when Allison just says she's got 2 National League teams, I'm like, eh. Well, welcome, Rick. Thanks for being here. Let's go to Adam Thompson.
Hi, I'm Adam. I am the from South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is the home of the Little League World Series, and I'm actually the director and curator of the Little League Museum.
Awesome.
So, I have a Cleveland hat on because they played here this year. I just picked up the hat, but as a kid, I grew up as a Mets and a Red Sox fan because the first pack of baseball cards I opened was a Lenny Dykstra and an Oil Can Boyd card. So, and I got the Mets games on TV here, so I was a Mets fan. Later on, I thought, well, I better stick with the Pennsylvania team as well, and I slowly went to the Pirates because it was very cheap buying Pirates tickets about 5 or 6 years ago. So I could go see any team I wanted for $5. So
Awesome. Well, welcome. Let us know if you've got any cool Little League stories to share. I'm sure we've got plenty of folks that would love to hear them. Let's go to Darren Hammond.
Hello. Hello.
There you are.
Yes, I am in Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, nice.
And no, we don't play baseball here, but I have been a baseball fan and an Orioles fan for about 25 years. And I followed the Orioles pretty close this year. It varies, even though they were horrendous. But that's the joy of being a fan, right?
Right.
You follow them when they have their worst season, and then when they have their best season, it feels so much better. But I watched most of the playoffs this year, and it was great.
Awesome,
and,
Darren.
yeah.
What time is it? What time is it in New Zealand?
It is 2 p.m. on Thursday.
Well, there you go.
And it's sunny and warm.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Saber is an international organization, so we're pleased to have you. Let us know if there's anything that we can, treats from Baltimore. Will be our national convention will be in Baltimore next year if you want to make a real cool trip.
I have been to Baltimore. I've seen the Orioles there, and it's a cool city. So one day I'll get back there when COVID's finished.
There you go. Well, thanks for joining us. Let's go to Christopher Huffer.
Hi, I'm Chris Huffer. I'm from Lafayette, Indiana, and my favorite team is the Cubs.
You don't say. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's go to Doug Gabrielson. Well, you want us to come back to you, Doug? We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Okay, let's go to Carmen. Hi, Carmen.
Hello, I'm Carmen Lampy Zeitler. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm an Iowa native and grew up with watching the game of the week with my dad in the early 60s. And so we were Yankee fans because that's who was on the TV. And so I continue to be a Yankee fan, but when I went to graduate school in Chicago, I became a Wrigley Field fan and then a Cub fan. But honestly, I just love baseball and all the stories and all the people. So I'm good with almost every team.
Almost. We'll have to figure out who the butt is.
I suspect the butt is the Cardinals.
No, I love the Cardinals. I saw a Cardinal game in my early 20s when Lou Brock was 3 bases away from breaking Ty Cobb's record. It was just so exciting, and I loved Yadier Molina and Stan Musial, all those guys. So not them, but
very cool. Thank you, Carmen. Let's go to Ed Carey.
Hi, everyone. My name's Ed. I live in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm afraid, especially among the old timers, the Dodgers aren't looked on so kindly. I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. I grew up in upstate New York, not far from the Mass and Vermont border. And when I was growing up, there were a lot of Red Sox fans up there. So it was border territory. And I'm guessing I'm probably a representative of the team that Carmen doesn't care for so much. That's just a guess. But only room in my heart for one team, and that's the Red Sox.
Very cool. All right, Ed. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's go to Mr. Robert Anderson. Hit that unmute button.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go.
My name is Robert Anderson. I'm in Lovettsville, Virginia, only about 30 miles from Bill Kramer in his Frederick, Maryland. It's in the very northern part of Virginia, but my background is very similar to Carmen. I grew up on a farm in northern Iowa, and my dad would let me get off the tractor on Saturdays to watch the CBS Game of the Week with Dizzy Dean and Pee Wee Reese. And so I started to follow the Yankees and love the Yankees, and I'm still a diehard Yankee fan.
Excellent. Great story. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go to Clem Hamilton. You got it there, Clem? There you go.
All right. Anyway, I'm Clem Hamilton. Hi, Allison. So I've been active with the Bob Rigg chapter for coming up on a year, so I thought I'd join up with the mothership. Couple quickies. One is, since there's some Dodgers action here, well, I've had 11 different home teams, starting with the Milwaukee Brewers. I ran a botanical garden in LA for 5 years. And when I was there, once a year, my wife and I would get to sit in those seats right behind home plate, thanks to the generosity of Northern Trust Bank. And my wife and I, Karen and I, just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. And to this day, she will tell you that the highlight of our married life was the night she sat next to Dr. Phil in Dodger Stadium. So there you have it. A more inspiring story I'll share with you. Henry Aaron, when I was 8 years old, I still have the 1963 card when it was Henry Aaron, my best friend Mark Cohn, whose father was Aaron's family dentist, and Henry Aaron, the three of us in this dentist waiting room. And we got his autograph. We shook his hand. As I said, I was 8 years old. And for the next 3 weeks, the only way my right hand got washed is when I was asleep, my mother would take a damp washcloth.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Well, thanks for joining us. Let's go to Gary Lash.
Hi, everybody. My name's Gary from, I'm originally from Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I live on the shores of Lake Erie right now, where we've had our first snowfall. Been a Mets fan from the early days, and it's hasn't always been easy, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to join in.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Gary. Let's go to Connor. Can you hear me? It looks like he's about, there you go. Thought you were about to give a, there you go. You look like you were about to give a press secretary briefing in your photo.
I interned there, but my name's Connor Cabasi. I live in Simi Valley, California, and I like the Dodgers.
Well, same. Welcome. Adam Mcfadden.
Hello, I'm Adam Mcfadden from Lowell, Massachusetts. I root for the Red Sox and members of my fantasy team most of the time.
Awesome.
A package.
Okay, let's go to Jeff. You're next.
Yeah, hey guys. My name is Jeff Hilster. I'm in Arizona. I am widely known as the biggest Cardinal fan in the state of Arizona. I am also a member of the St. Louis Browns Historical Society, one of the 3 members that live down here in Arizona. So I am a huge Cardinal fan. Everything I do is about the Cardinals, both in season and out. So I'm looking forward to this.
Very cool. Jeff, our offices, our headquarters are in Phoenix. So I live in Gilbert. What part of Arizona are you in?
I'm in Glendale.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about a mile and a half away from downtown Glendale.
Got it. Very cool. Very, very cool. Welcome.
You haven't heard of me? You will.
Welcome, Jeff.
All right.
Let's see. Let's go back. Doug, were you able to get that mute button figured out? I don't want to forget about you, bud.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Scott. Sorry for that problem earlier. Doug Gabrielson. I was raised in Oakland, which I thought then was the center of baseball, history and all that. But my dad played for the Oaks, and then he also played for Hollywood. And my brother played for the Giants and the Dodgers. So you might think I'm a little conflicted here. However, the Giants have my vote, pulling for them for many years now.
Now, see, I knew I should have kept you muted.
Sorry about that.
Just kidding, just kidding. I'm just playing. We're thankful to have you, Doug. So welcome aboard.
My pleasure.
Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to introduce Bruce Mcclure, who's one of our membership ambassadors. He helps us onboard all of our new members, and so he's a veteran, another veteran Saber member that you can lean on if you have any questions and you can't get a hold of the staff or a board member. So Bruce, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Bruce Mcclure. I'm from New London, New Hampshire. Don't blink driving through. You'll miss it. Been a Red Sox and a Mets fan for as long as I can remember, but I'll allow the Cardinals and the Dodgers a little love too.
Remember, Dad's a Yankees fan.
I don't know what the total is. I mean I wasn't keeping track, but I think the Red Sox might have it tonight. Was that?
I think
Allison,
it's the Red Sox today.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you all for doing that. That's a lot of fun just to hear your stories, and that's what's great about Saber is we all have that common background of how we became baseball fans and who we're fans of. But there's a common thread that the folks in Saber are the most passionate baseball fans you're going to meet anywhere. So you think you know a lot about baseball, and then you meet some Saber people, and you're like, oh, these are my folks. So we're glad to have you. And as Bill Nallen mentioned, not only here to help you now as you kind of learn the organization, but months, years down the line, we're here to help as you have questions. If you can't find something or you're looking how to get involved, we're here to help. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to kind of take a tour of the website and show you some of the back end stuff that you should be familiar with as a Saber member. I tend to talk a little fast, so if you want me to stop and go over something, just holler, and then we'll just move along. All right, everybody good? All right, let's do this. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. All right, can everybody give me a thumbs up?
You're all good.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start our tour at the Saber homepage, which is saber.org. If you haven't bookmarked it already, here is your home for the Saber universe. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about logging into your Saber profile. So if you go to the Saber homepage, you'll see this member login link right here at the top right corner of the page. You want to hit that, and it's going to take you to this members hub page where it's got all sorts of great links, and these are only accessible to Saber members. So if you click on this members home and learn more, it's going to ask you to log in. I save all my stuff because I can't remember anything. If you, for any reason, can't remember your login, forgot your password, whatever it is, the easy way to do it is just reset your password. But if you can't figure that out, just shoot me a note or shoot one of our staff members a note, and we'll help you get logged in. So click sign in, and it's going to take you to this members home page. Now we're going to start first, like I mentioned, we're going to start with our profile. So if you see my profile up here at the top, it's also the same link up here in that top rail as well. It's going to take you into this handy dandy little back end. And you'll see that it's got all of your updated information here. So if you move, change your address, if there's anything that you didn't add when you were signing up, this is always a good place to do it. This research interest in areas of expertise is a great way. Even if you're not an expert per se, list what you're interested in there, because that's a great way for people to find you when we talk about our directory search. So if someone searches for Los Angeles Dodgers, they'll be able to find you and maybe start a conversation. So we're going to start actually here with that directory. So click above your little profile pic there. And the Saber directory is fantastic. I mean, you can literally look up everybody in the basically close to 7,000 Saber members across the world. You can search by name, you can search by keyword, by location. Let's check out, see if we got any friends, or if we've got any friends in New Zealand for oh my gosh, here we go. See what we got. Darren, you better be here. There he is. John Kim. Darren, do you know John Kim? If not, You got a new friend. So we'll go back. You can do a search for, like I said, you can do a search for, if I wanted to search for LA Dodgers, the directory would pull up everybody who, oh wait, no, I had to look for LA Dodger fans in New Zealand. Let's go any country, right? That'll help out. So here's all of our Saber members who just listed that in their profile that they're Dodger fans. And of course, you can search for name as well. The next thing I want to show you on this membership on your profile back end is this groups link. So we're going to click on groups. Now, when you signed up for Saber, you selected a primary chapter. The great thing about Saber is you can be a part of any chapter that you'd like. It doesn't necessarily need to be the one that you live closest to. Now, and I think as we heard when everybody was introducing themselves, we've got folks that were born in one place, live halfway across the country now, and so your fandom or what you feel most connected to might not be the place that you currently live. So you can join any chapter. One of the kind of blessings in disguise about the pandemic for Saber is that we've been able to host basically for the last year and a half all of our chapter meetings online, and you can attend those chapter meetings from anywhere, and you don't need to be a member. You can just, if someone's got a great speaker and you're interested in hearing them, you can join as a Saber member. So if you're interested in joining groups, you'll see, if you click on that group tab, you'll see this available groups section over here on the right rail, and you can literally join any of these groups. Just got to click the join group here. If you want to change your primary group, which is your main chapter, you can do that as well. You can search here for groups. These are all, like I said, chapters, research committees. We'll talk about research committees in a little bit, and then also our charter communities. So like I said, feel free to join as many groups as you like. There's no limit, and you know, it's a great way to connect with other Saber members. Okay. All right, my favorite part of the presentation, invoices. Just kidding. We're going to go to, if you actually click on your name up here in the top right here, you'll scroll down and you'll see a little link to invoices. And basically I just want to show you this because I want you to know when you're up for renewal and how to take care of that if you're interested in doing it. Most of you are on auto renewal, so you don't have to worry about it unless your credit card information expires. But if you click on this membership tab right here, it'll show you exactly where you're at. A lot of folks will email us and be like, I don't know when I'm going to renew. I don't know what my membership status is. You can always check this on your own. You can see that here's my 1-year standard membership, and I'm current through August 31st of 2022. I can see that I am awaiting auto payment. And if I wanted to change my credit card information, or if it expires or I get a new card, you can do that just by updating this update billing information right here on this little guy. This little credit card icon right there. Okay, that's enough for the profile. Like I said, if you have any questions on how to get there, just email me, or if you forget your password. The next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to go back to the website and we're going to talk about our email newsletter. So how many of y'all, just quick raise of hands, have already received a Saber newsletter on a Friday afternoon? Very good, very good. Saber, This Week in Saber is our weekly email newsletter. It is a vastly comprehensive piece of email that will show you everything that's going on within the organization. So it's going to give you the most exhaustive look at what is happening, what to look forward to, who to connect to, important news, important events. So keep an eye out for that. It comes out basically every Friday afternoon like clockwork. If you miss one, or if you're new and just want to go back, you can go to the latest news section on our homepage and scroll down, and we've got all previous editions of the newsletter archived here. So you can see, for instance, here's last Friday's newsletter. Click on that and you'll see last week's newsletter in website form. Just a quick bounce through this so you can see what all falls into the newsletter. Obviously, we're going to start with most important news of the day. We talked about here, we'll talk about the Baseball Research Journal. We talked about the Gold Glove announcement last week. If you didn't read this or didn't know, Saber has a defensive metric called SDI, which accounts for about 25% of the voting for the Rawlings Gold Glove Award winners. So we take a lot of pride in that. So you can read about what goes into that and that announcement. Events, here's a registration for the analytics conference for next March. Some cool stories here. We're going to scroll down to this piece. If we've got a new book out, we're going to make sure you know about the new book. This is an important section about Saber virtual events. So we're always going to list all of our virtual events so you can see exactly what's happening. And like I said, anybody can join any of these meetings. You don't need to be a member of the chapter per se. If it's interesting to you, join it. We always link to our latest podcast episode of Sabercast with Rob Nyer, so you can listen to those. They're fantastic. Okay, great. There's a lot of stuff. It's required reading, so make sure you bounce through it and get up to speed on what's happening this week in Saber. Okay, let's go back out to the homepage. I want to spend a little bit of time, and I'm going to let Bill and Alan to chime in a little bit here because I know this is his passion within the organization. We're going to talk about Saber publications in our digital library. So if you click on publications right here, we'll open up the link to Saber's digital library. Now, Saber members, one of the biggest benefits that y'all have is the ability to download electronic versions of all of the books that Saber has produced. You can download electronic versions of those absolutely free. There's over 75 books at this point, adding more and more every few weeks. You can download them for free. You can also get a paperback copy for half off, and you can order it right through us and we'll send it straight to your home. So we always have our featured copy right here, which is our featured book, which is, we just put out a book on Baltimore baseball. You can see that here. You go back up to the more titles, you can look at all of the books that we've got out, and you can see that there's literally something for everybody. So whether it's the Negro Leagues, Jackie Robinson, the Mets, just scrolling down, just looking at some of the ones that are on top, the Braves, ballparks, we've got books on the winter meetings, books on umpires, books on scouts, you name it. There's a Saber book that's been written about it, and they're all fantastic, and they're all written by Saber members. Bill, do you want to just quickly touch on how you might be able to get involved with the book if that's something that you're interested in doing?
Yeah, I'll just say we've got next month will be the 10th anniversary of the Saber Digital Library. We published books before that, but in December 2011, with the book on Scouts that we put out, we started offering them online as well as physical copies. And it's an amazing benefit of membership that these are all free to download. So you join and you get 75 free books to start with a new one almost every month. It's also something that, as a research society, many people look forward to writing for the books or for a bio project, for games project, which is where I usually suggest people start. Write up a game that meant something to you, maybe a game you went to. The first game I wrote up was just, it was nothing in particular as a game, but it was the first game I took my son to when he was 6 weeks old. So I just thought I'd write it up. The last one, the one I was working on today, was one that happened last year when somebody climbed up the Green Monster from the outside into Fenway Park. No fans were allowed in the park last year, as you probably remember. But one fan got in, and he interrupted the park for about 10 minutes, yelling stuff from the top of the wall before security urged him to leave. So I was writing up that game. You can just reach out to Games Project, to Bio Project. They're mentioned every week in This Week in Saber, and just ask about how to get started writing something. You'll find, I think, people that are willing to help. Most of us are very willing to help.
Awesome. Quickly, let me show you all how to download a book. So let's just use the Baltimore book as an example. Just click on that, and you'll scroll down and you'll see this section here. Saber members get this book ebook for free. So it's just calling out to you to download. Click on the ebook. You have to make sure that you're signed in to get these discounts. So you can see, obviously, regularly. If you weren't a member, it costs you $10 to download, but your price is $0. You can select which type of file you want. So if you just wanted a PDF of this book, click there and you just go through. It's a checkout process and you get a link delivered into your email inbox. So very easy to do.
And
like we said,
54 Saber members contributed to that book. It's a collective effort by 54 different members that helped put that book together.
What's the most we've ever had on one book, Bill?
That might be close to it.
Yeah.
The minimum tends to be about 25 or 30. We like to involve people, and I always like to get new people involved.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So let's actually, so Bill mentioned the bio and the games project. So let's talk about that, because that's a great way for folks to get involved. If you're interested in doing your own research, we can talk about that. So go back out to the homepage. If you click on this research collection button, there's two ways that you can really dive into the research collection. One, you can use this search bar, which is fantastic because it'll pull up anything within the Saber archives on a particular topic. So let's look at, let's see who's off the top of my head, just because you just re-signed. So let's see if we've got anything on Justin Verlander. So we can see that somebody's written a game story on Justin Verlander's third no-hitter. Some journal articles. So again, just type a key term and it'll pull that up. So the search bar is really great. You can also just click on this link here for the research collection and it breaks it into its component parts. And we're going to talk about the bio project and the games project. They're really sister projects. They're very, very similar. One focuses on research stories written on player, character, off the field folks. Their biographies. The games project, like Bill mentioned, are more of stories about particular games. So we're just going to focus on the bio project just to save a little time. So click here, and I want to say we're close. We're over 5,500 bios, and it's growing every day. The only requisite that you need to write a biography is that you're a Saber member. So you can look for any bio that you want. Just you can search, you can browse. We've got different topics. There's always fun. You can just, the website will populate random bios. We've got some categories that you can kind of dig through to see, like, okay, I want to look at all-stars from the 90s and see what bios we have pulled up. So it's a lot of fun. Now, what Bill mentioned is this is great. Like I said, it's a great place to get involved. If you find a bio that hasn't been written, maybe it's one of your favorite players from when you were growing up, maybe it's a family member or a friend that you know of it, and the bio hasn't been written. Scroll down here, you can see we've got some links down at the bottom. Bio project, frequently asked questions. And it's a great place, and it'll basically tell you, like, hey, how do I get started if I'm interested in writing or contributing to the bio project? Same thing applies for the games project. Who do I talk to? What do I do? And then we'll have resources along the way of, like, how do I get started with the research? What are the requirements? So it's all right there for you if you're interested in actually writing your own bio or your games project write-up. Now, I will say this, Saber is made up of 7,000 members worldwide. Not everybody is a researcher, not everybody is a writer. Everyone, though, is a consumer of baseball information. Every single one of us loves to read about baseball. Every single one of us loves to talk about baseball. So when we talk about contributing, don't feel like it's an obligation or that you have to do it. It's just, if you're looking to get involved, if it's something you've always wanted to do, you've come to the right place, because we can help you out do it. But if you just like sitting back and reading other people's work and let Bill do all the work and editing all these great books, then by all means, just sit back, enjoy, because there's an endless amount of fantastic baseball content within Saber. Okay, let's go back. I want to talk quickly about some members only resources. So we're going to go back into this member login page, and let's go to this link over here, research resources. Now, the only way you're going to get in here is with your Saber login. So the general public is not going to be able to access this stuff. two of the biggest research resources that are available to our members are listed right here, right at the top. And they are included with your membership dues. And again, when we talk about trying to provide value for your membership, these are another great sources of value. So this link right here is a link to the paper record, which is basically the archives for the sporting news publication, excuse me. So the sporting news going back all the way back to the early part of last century. If you click on, here we go, Missouri, going back to 1886. And when did they stop? When did they stop publication? 2003? Is that when they stopped? But you can
stop. But that's what's in the archive.
That's what's in the archive. You can search for anything in these archives. And it's fantastic if you're interested in just doing your own research or just reading about old sporting news stories. Come on, internet. Well, there you go. Let's just click a random day, and you can see it'll just pull up a screen grab of an old sporting news issue, and we'll talk about here's a mention of the Dodgers, which I was searching for. Let's go back, and similarly, so that's the paper record again is the sporting news archives, and then we also have included in your Saber membership is a subscription to the newspapers.com world collection. So the newspapers.com collection is going to let you search a ton of local and regional and national newspapers where you can do searches along the same lines as the sporting news. So again, this subscription, I think it runs about $85 annually. It's included in your membership. So again, when you talk about all the books you can download, the access to the sporting news and to newspapers.com, you're paying for your membership right away. So we just want to make sure that you know of those resources and you can remember how to get to them. If you scroll down this page, we'll have more of our Saber produced research resources available to members. And these are all just great, whether it's databases or lists, our guides, fantastic stuff. I recommend if you've got some time and you want to dig through some of these great research resources. They're a lot of fun. Some of the things that I enjoy, you can go through. Where's our, we talked about the Saber defensive index calculations a little bit earlier. 4 more home runs in a single game. I mean, lists like this that you can only find in Saber. I mean, anytime that anybody hits 3 home runs in a game, this list gets just absolutely trafficked to heck. So people are always looking to see who's got 4 more home runs in a game. A guide to sabermetric research. This is something I always like to point out. A lot of folks obviously associate Saber with sabermetrics, and not everybody in Saber is an analytics stat head. But if you are, you're also in the right place because you can start your own research here, and it's a great guide to figuring out how you do statistical analysis and research. So a couple links down, here's another guide just to how to do baseball research in general. So if you're looking to start your own research, great guide to doing that. A lot of fun stuff here. Where's our Little League guy? Was it Adam? We've got our Little League home run database now. Little League home run is not, actual Little League home runs, but I saw Little League and it made me think about, hey, we've got a Little League guy on the call. So that's a fun one to look at. Minor league no hitters, a lot of great stuff. So we'll bounce out back to the website, and the last thing that I'm going to leave you all with, because I've been talking long enough, is our events page. And this is, I think, what makes Saber special is the chance for everybody to connect, whether that's virtually or in person. As we start getting back to in-person events, click on this events page and it'll show you all of the things that are coming up for Saber. First, this page will talk about our national events that we host out of headquarters. The big ones being the Analytics Conference, which will be virtual again this year. That'll be in March of 2022. Fantastic conference, probably my favorite event that I've been a part of since joining the Saber team. I love it. If you think that you've heard what's next or what people are talking about in the game of baseball, come to the analytics conference and you realize that there are people that are so far out ahead and talking about baseball in ways that you couldn't even imagine. It's a lot of fun. You really learn about what's making baseball work in the front offices across the country today. So a lot of fun there. All these events, Saber members get significant discounts on all of these events, but they are open to all baseball fans. Some other conferences that we've got, and we really span, the breadth of baseball. We've got a fantastic 19th century baseball conference that happens every year. They do a fantastic job. That committee does a great job with this conference. The Jerry Mulboy Negro League Conference, which is the only symposium dedicated to Black baseball in the country, will be returning to an in-person conference next June in Birmingham, Alabama. That'll be a lot of fun. And this one is our annual convention, Saber, our 50th annual convention, which hasn't been held in a couple of years in person because of the pandemic, but we will be gathering together in Baltimore in August of next year. So there'll be a lot of fun. You guys will be veteran Saber members by the time that rolls around. So hopefully you consider joining us in Baltimore. I know there's a lot of pent up excitement for everybody to see each other, but the annual convention is going to be an absolute blast. We also host a Women in Baseball conference in the fall. So again, there's a lot of great events that we do on a national level that you can be a part of. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see this calendar, which lists, if you missed it in This Week in Saber and you just want to see what's happening, what the event calendar looks like, here's a comprehensive event calendar that'll show you everything that's happening on a day-by-day basis. So you can see, for instance, here's today, you can see that here's our little Humboldt meeting listed right here. But tomorrow we've got a Georgia chapter meeting, Ohio, and South Carolina. So say, for instance, you wanted to figure out what's going on with this Georgia meeting, you can see that they're going to be in person. We can see we've got the Larry Doby South Carolina chapter meeting has got a Zoom meeting tomorrow. If you wanted details, you can click on that and it'll show you. Oh, sorry. I'll go back. Sorry, I messed that up. Let me show you that again. Click on more details and it should bring up your Zoom link if you've got it available. But again, lots of stuff going on. December not quite populated enough yet, but there's always a ton going on in Saber. You can join any of those events, especially obviously the virtual ones, and keep an eye out for what's happening in your local chapter. So again, there's a lot. I know there's a lot to this. It can be daunting to figure out where you fit in and how do you find what you're interested in, but we are here to help. So by all means, if you have any questions, you want to connect with anybody and you can't quite figure out how to reach them, we are available. You can email or call me at any time, any of our staff members. Like we mentioned, we got Bill and Allison and our board are always very helpful. We got veteran members like Bruce, who's always around to answer questions. So anytime you need us, we're here. We are thrilled that you have joined Saber, and we hope that you'll be members for years and years and years, and that you get as much out of Saber as we do, because it's a fantastic community of baseball fans, and we are happy to have you here. And let us know if there's anything we can do to help. So with that, we're at 6:48 my time, so I wanted to make sure that we're out of here before the top of the hour. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I'm happy to answer them, or if you just want to email me offline, we can do that as well. Don't be bashful. I know I always forget about asking questions until the meeting's over and they're like, oh, I should have asked that question, but I'm always available if you have anything to ask. So anybody got any questions now? I know we went over a lot. No hands. Look at that. Fantastic. Well, Bruce, Bill, Allison, any closing remarks before we let everybody out of here?
I'll say what I say every one of these meetings, which is, don't think that you have to do one thing to be a member of Saber. Don't think that there's one right way to be a member of Saber. Look around, get involved, you'll find your people. You may think that you like something that's really nuanced in particular. Trust me, in 7,000 members, you will find people who love the same thing as you. So look around, find your people. If you're not a researcher, you're not a researcher. If you're a researcher like me who likes studying crazy things like walk-up music, trust me, you'll find other people who think that's really cool. And then you'll also find people who think you're really weird. But you'll find your people, and we're here to help you find your people and give you guidance.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough. Allison's spot on. It will help you find your people. It's not as difficult as you might think it is. There's a lot of people out there, but we're here for you, and we want to make you a success in the society, and we want you to enjoy it.
Thank you, Bruce.
That's great.
All right, Bill, you got anything to add?
No, that sounds good, what both Bruce and Allison said.
Fantastic. Well, like I said, we thank you all for joining. We wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I cannot believe it's Thanksgiving next week. That's bananas to me. But anyway, have a happy holidays, and don't be strangers. We look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.